Hi, I'm Khalid. I'm from Afghanistan and I'm transferring to Questrom this year in BIA. There was a lot going on. It was not really safe anymore, and my dad starting building a case. And we had plans to go, but we didn't think we would leave the country for another 2 or 3 years, which is usual for SIV cases and other cases people have. I just hear my mom's voice just telling me, Khalid, bekhiz. That means, Khalid, wake up. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, Khalid, push. I'm like, okay, I got my clothes on, but she's like, no, go on, put on your traditional clothes. So I go out the window, I look out, and I see hundreds and hundreds of people with their bags, with their kids, with everything they can carry on the streets, walking. And at that point, I heard that the Taliban were here. The president had left the country, and so we had to change quickly because Talibans are not really fans of jeans and all the other clothing. You have to wear traditional clothing. I remember the fear in my mom's face because she was just hiding everything. She was actually shaking, and she had to cover up everything we had, anything related to the U.S., any ties, any small documents. In that whole first week, we were basically in a quarantine. We were not allowed to leave our house. My whole family, so me, my two brothers, my mother, and my sister, with some of our other relatives too, we decided to go to the airport.
We've got breaking news for you from Afghanistan. The Taliban seized the country's second largest city of Kandahar overnight.
The takeover of the city has triggered deadly scenes of panic at the airport.
I don't remember seeing my sister at all. And the next call I get is that my sister left, because I remember her, she said that she would rather die than stay in a regime under the Taliban.
It's just horrendous. Taliban hitting people, Paris with no choice but to hold the line.
I would say there was at least more than 5,000 or 6,000 people just waiting outside the gates, and the gates were shut closed. There was the U.S. military. They would not let anyone in, and you had to basically force yourself into the crowd. Actually, from the outside there was the Taliban, and the inside there was the U.S. soldiers and the Afghan soldiers that were still left. I remember them throwing tear gas. There was a lot of shooting going on. People were getting whooped. They're getting meleeed with guns, and the hardest part was that we saw a lot of people actually die. They were getting trampled. I saw especially a lot of kids and women. Those times that we had to actually pass over some bodies over our heads, and it wasn't easy. It was not a choice. I had to just keep walking and walking, so we had to go through the airport, and then we're in the airport. It's just me, 15-year-old, another kid that's 10-year-old. And we're just walking all by ourselves, and then I remember getting to another security checkpoint where you had to literally go down this big sewer, and then on the other side there was the U.S. troops that would help you up, and then you get up. Out of nowhere there was a big bang, and the next thing I remember I opened my eyes to was we were literally buried under other people's hands and bodies. It was so packed that you could barely move. You were just sitting in the same spot you were for 3 hours, and then we got to Qatar. That was the most traumatic event in my whole life. Seeing all these people, seeing all these parts, seeing that in my whole life I've never seen anything like it. If I could go back on that day and I decided I would not go, I'd rather stay home and never get to experience something like that as a 15-year-old, seeing all the bloodshed, all the people, all this violence. I had to basically grow myself up as a 15-year-old, do everything all by myself with that family, figure out everything I had to. Figure out college, figure out school, figure out my grades, figure out how to make friends, how to stay in shape, how to just chase my dreams. There was support. I mean, I would talk to my mom, yeah, but her presence would have meant much more. Fortunately, they're all here. My mom, my brothers, one of my brother, they got here around last year. They were able to make it to my graduation. Seeing my mom just sitting there and me graduating, that's the best memory I've had in the U.S. ever. Seeing my family reunite, we're still there. We still got one brother to catch up with. Thanks God she's here now. She's proud of me. I got a full ride to BU, Boston University, who would have thought? And yeah, it's on the bright side, we made it. My family's back together and I'm living a pretty good life, thanks God.